Hello. Hi, Geek Boy. How are you? You're definitely in a good mood with those icons. I love it. I'm going to actually pull up the Cornish pasty website again. Hello, Max. You are awake, Geek Boy. That's, if you need the sleep, you don't mind. I don't mind you getting the sleep. You know what I mean? You don't have to be here for that. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? But you certainly don't have to skip sleeping for stream, right? But I appreciate you being here. Max, how are you? I'm pulling up the website because I've just looked at these again, and the big question, oh, Geek Boy, up for a few hours, not even sleepy. Well then, come hang out with us. Good, I'm glad. Max, I thought this made 6, and yet I'm looking through the instructions, and it says just make 1. So I'm gonna look it up again. Because I have concerns. So I hope you are all having a good Thursday, or possibly Friday, I suppose, if you are at the beginning of the time zone. Make your own. Here we go. Okay, that's what I thought. It says at the very top, this will make 6. It says 6 ansem pasties, which an American should not be saying at all. Let me look at any of the tips. They freeze after glazing but before baking. Check that they're piping hot all the way through. Okay. All right, well, we'll just keep that up in case. Because it's like, yeah, you make 1. I'm like, but then you make more than 1, right? So we'll get on that. But we're gonna start by making our coffee cookie dough because it needs to chill for an hour or more. So we are going to make coffee cookies based on this super cute recipe that I pulled out of a magazine, because I do that sometimes. If there's a magazine and it has recipes in it, you know I'm gonna look for it. So I'm not gonna do the sanding sugar. We put enough sugar in our cookies, you know. But I like the idea. It's a black cat cookie. I don't have a black cat cutter. I do have, so I told the kid what I was gonna do, and she narrowed it down, because I don't have a cat, to these 3 Halloween cutters and said that I should let chat decide. We won't even use them until much later. But I wonder how long I can set a poll for. Let's find out. Don't they, Max? I thought so too. I love coffee, so why not make an entire, well, I just had some tiramisu, so I'm very happy about that. But wait, let's put more coffee and more things. This is decaf coffee I'm using, just so that I can, you know, give it to the children if they like it, which I was about to say no kids like coffee. Not true at all. Almost every kid I know loves their mother's coffee, but it's because it's full of whipped cream and sugar and all the good stuff, which obviously. Okay, duration. The longest we can have is a 10-minute poll. Okay, I will start the poll then when we actually are getting the dough out of the fridge. But we have a ghost, a pumpkin, and a bat. I do know that this one's a bat. So we will let chat choose at that time. If you want to cast your vote because y'all got here early, feel free to, and I will take that into consideration. I'm not even going to get the pasty stuff out yet. I say that. I think it'll be easier to deal with the dough cold, but I'll get out the filling when I get out the butter, probably an egg, yes. Butter and egg. And then we'll get moving from there. I'm almost out of butter, so it's good that it's the end of the week, because then I can put in my order for like several pounds of butter at the grocery store. All right, dough is gonna stay in. Ooh, did you hear that? That's a dense dough. But here's all our filling that we cut yesterday. Unseasoned, but otherwise chopped and ready. Hello, Jocko, how are you? And Cookie Manor, welcome in. We're gonna start with our cute little cookies. They're not gonna be kitties, but we're gonna make the dough first. You always feel judged by your butter order, right? Who is this lady and why does she need all the butter? Shush, you don't need to know. Well, and then I buy boxed wine for Irish too. So it's like all the boxes of wine and all the butter and all the sugar and don't ask any questions. We're just living our good life here. Hey, Cram, how are you? Good to see you. Annalie, welcome in. I'm so glad to see you all. I'm going to grab the dry stuff for our coffee cookies. And I wonder if I have enough cocoa powder after yesterday with the brownies. The brownies are much better. Oh, I said I would test them on stream. They're much better cooled and the next day than they were hot. They were still quite cakey hot, and I don't love a cakey brownie. So Geek Boy hides all the butter and sugar. Give it to us. Hey, Flat Spin. Cookie, wish you could buy alcohol at the grocery store. It's just wine. Does your grocery store not carry wine? Oh my gosh. I just buy boxed wine for Irish all the time. Like, I don't even have to go anywhere special. Costco, HEB, we got it. Oh, my shirt. It says, curse your sudden yet inevitable betrayal. It is a Firefly quote. One of my absolute favorite parts where Wash is in the cockpit with the two dinosaurs and he's having like the little conversation. So fun. He's such a good character. All right, so I'm gonna try the cool brownie. In Illinois, Walmart and corner stores have liquor. Like hard liquor or just, it's a law in the whole state? Boo. Yeah, Jocko, that's okay. We were just trying out these brownies and they're good. Irish commented last night, and they were cool enough last night that it wasn't the heat making the flavor different. He said they taste a little bit like they're low fat or something like that. I think they just don't have a lot of flavor. So I made a note to put either espresso or Kahlua in the next batch. So we'll put coffee in everything. No wine in stores there either, Annalie. State-controlled liquor stores? Like, what is that even like? Oh my gosh, come to Texas. Flat Spin, you're living in crazy pants. In Texas, only liquor stores have liquor, but grocery stores and corner stores have beer and wine. Yes, hard liquor, yeah, but you can't, you cannot, and I found this out because Costco has a liquor store right next to it. You cannot have a membership liquor store in Texas. I don't know if that's nationwide, but I know for here, because I was like, oh, I'll show you my Costco ID. And they're like, we don't care, we can't. Like, that's not a thing. Anybody can go get Costco related alcohol. They can't go in and do the shopping, and they can't get gas, but they can buy alcohol. That's where our priorities are here in Texas. You don't drink though? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Annalie, if it doesn't bother, like if you're not buying it, then it doesn't matter at all. But even in Texas, there are some counties where you can't buy liquor. They're called dry counties. My parents used to live in one, and they would just drive over the county line where the liquor store was built on the county line so that you could literally pop over, pay your taxes in that county for the liquor, take it home. Because you could have it, but not sell it, apparently. The armpit of civilization, yes. I know, Cram, Firefly was so good, so good. So many good things about it. In the UK, you now have pubs and some motorway service stations. Drive in, have a pint, and drive off again. Where's the problem? We do have drive-through liquor stores though. So you're not supposed to actually like open it, but you can like, it's like a barn. You just open one end and then come out the other and they will just give it to you in your car, which is very efficient. So, hello Tech Op, welcome in. The grocery stores can have liquor store next door with its own entrance. Geek Boy, a lot of ours do that. A lot of ours have that actually around Texas. Jocko, you're here though, so you're all right? Or are you in a dry county, like because you're outside of Dallas? You have drive-through beer distributors? They like putting cases in? That'd be fun. You have family in Texas. Are they the good kind of family that you would come visit, Annalie, or no? I know to ask that question now. I'm gonna get out flour, sugar, vanilla. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna have to refill my flour before we get much further. Flour, sugar, vanilla cocoa powder. I wonder if Cocoa Rouge is even more expensive than it ever was before because I'm getting kind of low on it. No. My child's yelling at me from over there. She's got her headphones on. She's like, Mom, no. You never saw that when you were in Texas? Yeah, Geek Boy, I think so. I've seen it quite. See, now I can't remember where, so maybe not. Pop your trunk, get on with your trunk. Flat spit. Is that like the slogan? They have it painted on all the sides of the drive-through distributors. Brian and Odessa. Oh, wow. Brian's close to us. Odessa, not so much. That's out. It's far. You're not in a dry county, but your town is so small you don't think you've seen a liquor store here. Well, Amazon should bring some to you, right? That's your slogan, although you're not a big beer drinker. That's too funny. I like a beer occasionally. I'm real picky about it, though. And I hate IPA, which everybody else seems to like, so, you know. But we have Shiner in Texas. The brewery's here, closer to the hill country out I-10, but I like Shiner. Like, if you had a Shiner and I felt like drinking alcohol, I'd probably drink it, you know. So, but that's about as excited as I get about it. Well, I know I'm missing something, but I don't remember what it was. Flour, sugar, cocoa, vanilla. Oh, okay. Yep. I already had 2 of the things out. So it said chocolate or coffee extract optional, and just put this in it because it's literally the same as this. This is alcohol with vanilla extracted into it. This is rum with coffee flavor put into it. We're going to use them in the exact same way today. Take 6 white Russians. There's Specs in the next city. Yes. Yeah, Jocko, Specs is becoming quite good. Empty calories leads to fat, flat. Empty calories. Are they empty? They're full of beer. That's nice. I always said beer was like bread, right? Like you can have a little and it's good, and then after that it's too much. Like you're drinking like a couple of Guinnesses and it's like you've eaten a whole loaf of like that dark crusty bread they bring you with the butter at the really good restaurants. Is that rye bread? It might. No, I don't know what it is. You should have a Shiner again, been too long. Straight up Shiner box. See if you can find it. I don't know, Geek Boy. I don't know how far they ship out of Texas. You'd rather eat the bread. Fair enough. Fair. Oh, and there's a gnat. So you know how I've said my trash can smells funny? Because I dumped kale in there because it was rotting. The presence of gnats means I actually need to take it out. I've been resisting because it's not full yet. And if it's not full yet, I can get more in the bag. This is how shady I am. I'm like, just wait, it'll be fine. It smells a little funny. Pumpernickel. No, it is cookie. Thank you. Yeah, pumpernickel. No, because it's like that really dark. You can't get wheat that dark. Shiner is like Bluebell. Good luck finding it up north. Aw. Sourdough. I do love sourdough. I need to get a starter from my friend. She keeps talking about it, and I'm like, and her kids are like, yeah, my mom made sourdough waffles and sourdough bread, and we're eating so much bread. And I'm like, that's awesome. They're super healthy, so of course they try not to eat like too much, but I should get a sourdough starter. The classic trash removal sensor. It totally is tech op. It really is like, oh, time to take the trash out. Maybe that was just how I was raised, but like you don't take it out until the bag is full. Like you're wasting space in the bag. Like, and I'm saying that, I'm like, it doesn't even waste space because you just crunch it down and it's fine. So I'm not sure where my hang up is.
I got slightly over 42 gems and I did 10 minutes of lane work.
10 minutes, good job.
So sweet.
So, did you say so sweaty? All right, well come say hi to chat. Did you have some water down here?
No.
You want mine? Just for
Yes,
a minute? Okay. Kiddo just got off of the
My flat spin.
stationary bike. She's doing her workout. I'm proud of her. Everybody knows you. Are you famous on Twitch? You'll be more famous on Twitch, huh? If we let you stream by yourself. Who knows what you'd say? Everybody'd know we're terrible parents.
Probably dropped some F-bombs.
See, we're terrible parents. You can't do that.
Yes, I can.
No.
You can't tell me how to live my life.
So silly.
I would like a snack.
You want a snack? What do you
I want
want?
a snack.
She needs hydration. She does.
I would eat in my kingdom.
No, you can't eat.
Yes, I can.
She's the mom. Mom tells you what to do.
Flatspin, you sicken me.
You're not my real mom. I'm everybody's real mom. Come on, mom hugs. Oh, I was denied the mom hug. Love you. Okay, let's snack
Mom is
down.
not boss, you liar.
Oh, Tech Up wants a snack. Yeah, I'll feed you all cheese. Some of you will hate me for it because not everyone can have cheese. You want a piece of cheese and some salami? Yeah. Okay, salami's in there. I'll get you cheese. You want Colby Jack?
Actually, can you just make me a charcuterie board? I would eat in my kingdom, but someone doesn't let
No, you're not allowed to eat in your room.
my kingdom.
We already have gnats in the house.
My kingdom, and
Aren't
I
we
eat
cheesy
every
enough?
time I'm there.
Stationary bikes are fad, they won't go anywhere. Max, nice one, coming in with the pun. I love it. Why don't you get out the salami?
No, they don't. Flat.
Or do you?
I said, are we cheesy enough?
Yeah, Geek Boy is good at the pun too. Do you want turkey or do you want salami?
Salami.
Go ahead and grab the salami. And
But you know what?
an apple. Yeah, babe.
I'm gonna eat in my room because I'm the queen of my country and I eat for free every time I'm there.
Nope, no eating in your room.
It's my country, Mom.
Well, Daddy is in charge of the entire
Don't tell me how to rule my country.
hemisphere, so I'll get him on it. You want me to get Daddy on the case? Every waking moment. Oh, Tech Up, that's too funny. All right, apple?
No.
Well, it's going to be raisins then.
I had my apple today.
You did not have your apple
I
today.
did not have my apple today.
No, I'll get it for you.
There's my apple.
Yeah, all right. You may put a sweet on it. Yep. This is what we call charcuterie, is literally a cutting board with meat and cheese and fruit on it. Which is kind of what charcuterie is, so I don't feel bad about calling it that, but it is a little bit pretentious, right? Yes, I'm going to have charcuterie. No, you're not. You're freaking having meat and cheese.
Can you snap off this?
Sure. Yeah, you want chocolate. Of course I can.
Snap,
Put a sweet on it. Of course we do.
snap, snap.
Okay. Is this?
Cookie Monster's in here.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. Nice and decadent. What do you think? Can't waste the dark chocolate. Okay. I just tried to eat that and it fell off. You may take your charcuterie board and go up and eat it at your desk or in the living room. I'm gonna put the rest of this chocolate in the fridge. Okay. Thank you, love you, bye.
Took one of my pieces.
I didn't take, I only gave you 2. Do you want 3 pieces? That's kind of a lot. Okay. Eat the chocolate last, right? All right. 3 pieces of chocolate, you stinker. All right, go. Enjoy.
Adios, everyone.
You're feeding the baby and very entertained by both of us. Well, thank you, Cookie. That was a fun diversion, and I can actually...
What are you making?
Coffee cookies?
Oh,
Remember with the cutters?
yeah, coffee cookie cutter.
Coffee cookie cutter. She was the one who suggested that we do a poll later when the dough's ready, which is going to take about an hour. So, well, it has to cool an hour. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't actually get out all the butter that I needed. It says a stick and 2 tablespoons. So, let's see what else I can scrounge up in here. Is this legit my last? Ooh. So, this is my last stick, and I'm making frosting with y'all tomorrow, and it requires a stick. So, I'm gonna take the 2 tablespoons that I put in here the other day and just pry it out, and nobody gets grilled cheese unless it's made with olive oil, which is not the greatest, you know, but still. Because I cannot sacrifice the stick of butter that's meant for frosting. We can't have a frosting lab if we change all the measurements. We could. It would just be math. Who's doing math? No, we're not here for that. Hello, Trey. Already very happily married, but thank you so much for the offer, my friend. You're welcome to hang out. CCC is coffee cookie cutter. Yes, absolutely right. You've heard mayo on bread does the same as butter for grilled cheese. Oh, super, we have mayo. Okay, perfect. Then I won't feel as bad about, woo, there's my pot, about saving the butter for the frosting, because one has priorities. Although Kaya has given me so many more frosting recipes. The German one has flour in it, same as or similar to the ermine frosting we made last week or 2 weeks ago. The French one is just full of eggs. So it'll be interesting to play with those, but at a later date. For now, just the same as we did yesterday for the brownies. We melt the sugar and the butter, the butter and the cocoa powder together, which is basically reconstituting melted chocolate. So how much do I need? 1/4 cup, which is, I did this yesterday, didn't I? No, I did 1/3 of a cup yesterday. 1/4 is, yeah, 4, so 20 grams. So let's find our, I feel like using this is wasting the pot because it's big, but it'll all be, we'll just mix it up in here. It's like a bowl that I got out. Okay. The nice thing about doing this, by the way, you can see how many lumps are in my cocoa powder. You get to mix them all in and smooth them out in the butter before they hit the rest of the dry, so there's not going to be like a cocoa clump. So that is an extra benefit of this method. All right, we will, oh, there we go. Get it down on medium. It wants me to use a stand mixer. You know I'm not going to. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm curious as to why, because it doesn't justify it, which it's a recipe printed in a magazine printed by a grocery store. So I don't have quality assurance on that, you know. Like, it's a grocery store that also sells like really crappy products. You know what I mean? Like, their cream cheese has like 5 or 6 different thickeners in it, which is honestly why I buy Philadelphia cream cheese, because it just has the one. Trader Joe's just has the one. You can't, if you can find a cream cheese that has no thickeners in it and is just like the distilled whatever yogurt maybe to make the cream cheese, you let me know and I will go buy that one. But it's kind of the same with Greek yogurt. Some of them have extra thickeners. Like, I don't need cornstarch in my yogurt. Just like strain it and it automatically does what you want. So no reassurance of quality on this recipe is what I'm saying. Let's check this. Yep. I was like, wait, I have something on the stove, because I am all put together as usual. I mean, it's melted enough. Yeah. So this is what we made, a lovely little mess. I wonder why, I mean, if I make this, if this is good and I make it again, I might just try to replace this with melted chocolate. Same with the brownies, right? Because if I have it, I could just use it. I've got Baker's chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate chips, which are sweeter than Baker's chocolate. You just have to know how to control the sugar. Now you need to check your cream cheese ingredients. You know, it's interesting. It was enlightening for me because I just made assumptions and I was wrong. And so I think it's very interesting to take a moment on, especially products that you use all the time, that you always have like as a staple, and see what's really in them, or what's really in the cheaper ones. Like, that's when I buy more expensive cream cheese. Sugar, salt. We'll start with the sugar. 100 grams, ½ cup, you know. I'm wondering how much of a batch this makes because it's got 1.25 cups of flour. Does it say? Well, it also says roll out the dough to 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick, which is very significantly different and will make a lot of different cookies. I'll probably do them thin. I love thin and crispy, you know. You know me, you've seen me do that, so I think I will. Or I could just try. I could do some 1/4 and some 1/8. Yeah, we should do that. We love a good experiment, don't we? Salt. I probably need to put more salt in. I probably should have put it in the brownies as well, because they were a little bit bland, like Irish said, and so it's one of those, like I never measure the salt. You know, I just sit here and crank it like this and count to like 20, but it would be worth trying. Random recipe salt, or random amount of salt versus recipe amount of salt. Probably like 2 dozen if you go thinner. Yeah, I think you're probably right, just based on the flour and the butter. So I have ground my decaf beans, and it wants a 1/2 teaspoon. So I ground it as fine as I could on my grinder, which is just to like press down for 10 seconds, press down for 10 seconds, press down for another 10 seconds. Usually because I do cold brew, I grind it until I can't see any whole beans anymore, and it's very coarse because you don't want cold brew to be like this. So I'm hoping this is powdery enough. There are still larger bits in it, I can see them. I did not sieve it. I could have, like with my tea strainer, but there might be little nuggets of coffee bean in the cookies. So we'll see how that works as well. Okay, the butter also. So let's stir this up. One thing I will also do if I like this recipe and want to keep manipulating it is throw in like a 1/2 teaspoon or a teaspoon of cinnamon, because cinnamon and coffee together with like the rich chocolate, I think could be quite nice. The size depends on the size of the cookie cutter. You could also try brown sugar, that's true, and that'll make it a little chewier, right? And so that would be nice, especially if we do a thicker one. If we like the thicker one, we could do it with brown sugar. That does change the flavor enough. I do like that. All right, we're gonna do our trick again. Not what I meant to do, but there we are. I'm gonna leave it there. It's the cover. I'm not gonna leave it there. It's the cover for the food. So it's got butter in there, even though I didn't use it last time when I exploded the butter. Oh, chili powder, that would be good. So I don't have chili powder because of reasons that I will not go into at the moment. But I do have chipotle powder, like proper smoked chipotle powder, and I love it. So wouldn't that be good? Like a little cinnamon, some real dark chocolate with the coffee, and then chipotle. I already want to make a new version. We'll do this one first. We'll be legit, right? If I had weighed my bowl, I could have divided it in half by weight and done a spicy version too, even after we add the flour, because it's harder to mix in evenly. Like at the butter and sugar stage is the best, which is what we're doing. But I could probably get away with it if I tried. No, we'll just do this one this time. And the great thing is, I can give it away to anybody who likes coffee. And I feel like that's a lot of people. Right? Including all my friends' kids. I watched my friend's youngest today, and it took about 15-20 minutes to stop screaming. And after that, she was super great, but I did offer her coffee, and she said no. I was trying to distract her. She usually says yes. She's 2. But it was not coffee colored, it was milk colored. You could tell I had put a lot of cream in it. I figured there was a chance. All right, we're gonna whip this. Hello, George Hot Sauce. It's coffee cookies. They'll be rich. They will be sweet, but they will be rich too. So that will be fun, I think. And it's decaf, so I'm hoping I won't get in trouble myself or get anyone else in trouble when I give these away. because there's a lot. Actually, I could just freeze the rest of the dough if I felt like it too. I need to stop baking off all the cookies because it does take more like to give away. And assuming these turn out well, I'll freeze it and we'll have coffee cookies all day. Yes, all of it cookie, right? Y'all, so Cookie and George are both streamers, and we ended up rating George last night, and we'll end up rating Cookie tonight if she's on when we're done, which is usually the case. So let me do shout outs. You have a cookie problem? As in you like them? Me too. That's not a problem, that's a lifestyle. Planning, excellent. Yeah, if you like cookies, George, you should follow Cookie. Cookie, you should follow George. I love that you have clips now too. Because for a while you didn't, Cookie. Happening. All right, so, oh, you know what? Hey, Capio, how are you? George, you did a different shout out command last night. Is it just / shout out? It is. I've not seen that clip of you. Love it. You're like getting into it. Yes. This just cracks me up. All right, so I'm gonna do the / command. Yay! I noticed it in my dashboard. So that was really cool. I'd not seen that. You know how I'm really bad at Twitch? Even though I've done it for 6 months now. You'd think I'd be good, but I'm like, oh, not good at it yet. Oh, it's fine. But cool. No, you're really bad. What? What are you talking about? Well, I'll have to / shout out Cookie too. Is this part of how they were doing no hosting anymore? Like they changed the hosting thing so we can't do that? I don't know. We do learn as we go. I really try. Only one shout out can be active at a time. Please wait a minute and try again. Okay, we will. We'll figure it out. Nice. All right, I need to read the patch notes more, don't I? Capio, you're doing good. You made 3 loaves of bread today. You made them for your birthday party. You're just doing a whole birthday week. I love it. What kind of breads did you make? Same kind of bread, or like 3 loaves of the same thing, or like 3 different? We were talking about pumpernickel. I couldn't remember the name of it until Cookie told me. I was like, it's the dark one that you put butter on, because you put butter on all the bread, actually. You know, you could be better, but need to take the time to learn. Same Cookie. Maybe we should like find a streamer who knows what they're really doing and be like, hey, we'll teach you how to make cookies if you teach us how to Twitch properly. 1 wheat and 2 sourdoughs. Okay, on Discord. Thank you so much, Capio. That's awesome. I was just talking about how I need to get a sourdough starter for my friend so I can make the sourdoughs too. Use that / shout out for your special friends. I love everybody. Well, okay, I will. Because I mean, well, the thing is, when it comes to raids, like I have my favorites. I have my handful of favorites. And both of y'all are in that handful. Mama Huevos, Hippie Wayfarer, you too. Who else? Waybread sometimes. I mean, when he's around. He's usually around, but sometimes he's done before me. So, like, yeah. Like how to make emotes. That's true. I could do one of those. I did one of those once. I think a couple, like 3 people showed up, but it was fun. It was just to show Military Man because he was interested, and so I was trying to show him. It's not hard. It's hard to make good ones, but it's not hard to make the ones I make, right? But like when you want something like amazing, you go talk to John Bloor because he's an artist, a graphic designer. So. Aw, okay, y'all. Let's finish this so we can fridge it, and we'll get into making dinner. Continuing to make dinner from yesterday, I guess. Did that. Oh, is it cool? There's no sugar in it. Obviously there's no sugar in it. It's cocoa powder and butter. So it's unsweetened chocolate. Which is good because we put sugar in here. So I have a feeling this is gonna be a nice, I was gonna say biscuit. Been hanging around my Brit and Australian Twitch friends enough that it's rubbing off. But it will be, yes, a less sweet, more rich and flavorful biscuit, so that'll be nice. Capio, also make a charcuterie board tomorrow, and all the meat on it is homemade. It was smoking the entire day. What meats did you smoke? The only one we ever smoke is chicken, because my husband, so Irish, has a really nice smoker, and we'll do like whole chickens, and that's succulent. But that's awesome. Cookie, you and Ginger were doing a piece of meat. Ribs? Not ribs. You had made one not recently. Time is relative. Brisket, yes, exactly, thank you. Pork loin, bacon, and ham. Ooh, I've never smoked bacon or ham. I just buy them smoked. Do you get, for bacon, do you get pork belly? Do you get a big old pork belly and then just smoke it low, like for all day? I should get Irish to do that. That's right, for Rosh Hashanah, that was fun. That was so cool. I love that you're also talking about for, when I made the challah, and you're talking about the honey and the apples also being part of that, or my recipe said you can put raisins in for the same kind of idea to symbolize the new beginning and the blessings and all that stuff. And I thought that was just the coolest. So we have so good news. That's nice. Well, all right. I learn stuff from y'all every day. Okay. Yes, I combined that stuff, all the stuff. Egg, vanilla, and extract, nuts, and then the flour. Okay, yeah, good. We're fine. Everything's fine. I don't need the scale though, not until the flour. Y'all are the best. I like it when we're all like just sharing cool ideas. Like I'm having this class tomorrow for the frosting, but it's not really. It's just hanging out with my friends, and we all brought ingredients to play with together kind of thing. So, but I am learning, like I said, Kaya had posted several more variations on buttercream that I've never seen before, so I'm gonna have a lot to learn. More frosting, that's what everybody needs. Okay, so half teaspoon of the Kahlua and then a teaspoon of the vanilla. We should be good. Smells so nice. And the alcohol cooks off, so even if you don't drink, for whenever you put it into something that's being cooked, heated quite a bit, which these are at probably 350. Oh, it says serves 15. It's gonna make about 15 cookies. I bet it is like a dozen to two, depending on how thin you roll them, huh? 375 for 10 minutes. Yeah, it'll evaporate all out. In most things that you put alcohol in, except the tiramisu, which never goes near the oven, you bake it right back out again. You also forgot about homemade lard and chicken liver pate. Wow, that sounds super rich. Is that smoked, or did you just make it? You render the lard, I suppose, huh? That's what I was saying yesterday. I don't have lard. I have bacon fat and then vegetable shortening, which will be nice for the pasties. So, all right, let me put the alcohol and the other alcohol away. Flour's the last thing we'll need. But I will sure mix this all in together. Capia, that's awesome. I love that for your 20th birthday, all week so far, you've been making all this really yummy stuff. Well done, you. I can't even remember what I was doing on my 20th birthday, but it probably wasn't as exciting as what you're doing. There's no need to put this in a stand mixer, honestly. None at all. I mean, I could beat the heck out of it now because there's no flour in it yet, but it's fine. It's come together so nicely. There's nothing bothersome about it. It looks like pudding. Oh, it has a raw egg in it. I won't taste it. Someday I'll get over that. Someday I will. The pate was baked and lard was rendered and infused with onion, garlic, and crispy bacon. Sounds amazing. I like all the flavors. I do like a good pate. But see, I had it when I was a kid in France. Well, so I was a kid in Scotland, but I went to France for a summer. Like we drove and camped all around France. And so I wonder if my memory of pate is really what pate tastes like, because I liked it as a kid. We're gonna do 140 and see how that looks. We'll do 150 because I'm trying to move away from my hard and fast rule that a cup is 140 grams, and we're gonna play with it. So we'll see how this texture is, probably add about 20 more if it's not amazing. Seems like it might be enough. It's pretty thick. You've also made about 5 kilos of smoked sausage, but that's for us, not for the guests. Yum. We made the kolaches last night with a smoked sausage in them, and we only used 3 sausages because it was half in each, which turned out really nice, but I am excited that we have more smoked sausage left so I can figure out what to do with it. What do you do with yours? Do you just like grill it and eat it straight up, or do you put it in stuff? I will take anybody's suggestions for using smoked sausage because we do have, it came in a pack of 10. So I've got 7 sausages left, which is a lot of food for 3 people, especially when one of them is smaller. Okay, I'm gonna add 20 to 30 grams more flour. So it was at 150. And then I'll annotate on my recipe what I actually did. So if I wanna repeat it again, well, that's 30. So we'll see if 180 will do. I'm already spoiling anyone who comes over. Oh no, exactly, right? You can keep some stuff back for the family. You don't have to give out all the good stuff. It is funny though, because I will make the good stuff for guests. Unless, I mean, if my family asks for anything I can make, I will make it. But I don't do like fancy desserts unless we're having guests, because then I can, you know, show off. But we don't really have anybody over lately. We'll have to have some kind of party now that it's cool and we can hang out in the backyard and Irish can grill and we can do all that. For some of y'all it's cold, but still today, this week, we're still in the 90s. All right, this is what I wanted. This is nice. So I'm gonna say 180. Where's my pen? Transfer dough to wax paper, shape into a ball, and wrap in paper. That's not how we do it. Gonna lurk. Of course, Cookie. Enjoy the baby time. I know he'll have all sorts of fun trying to get to sleep before you start streaming. Usually adding it to Polish traditional recipes. Pasta with sausage and sauerkraut or Polish baked beans. Those sound really good. Like to put them in a sourdough bread slice? With the lard. Oh, that sounds really nice. Sounds really good. Thank you for sharing those. I'm not a big fan of sauerkraut, but I've only had it a few times, so I might actually like it more than I think I do. I should try that. All right, so we need 1/4 and 1/8, which I think I don't have. I have 1/4 and 1/16 and 1/6. All right, well, we'll do that. We'll roll it out with the thick first, yeah. And then we'll roll it out again with the thin for our experiment. I do like bread and sausage together. It's just, it feels like such a hearty meal. Like you're like, I'm good. I've had bread and I've had sausage. Like I don't need anything else. Mustard. I like mustard on my sausage with my bread. You had pre-made burgers because you had no time to cook for yourself. Yes, I get that. But you made all that fancy food and you can have some, right? You can share with your guests, or is that not a hostly thing to do? Oh, I found a flour pocket. Let me mush that in real quick. It's nice with this really dark dough that I can see if there's a pocket of flour because it's white. And I can also see if there is a cat hair. Yeah. It's everywhere. All right, I'm gonna try and get everything out and into the fridge. But we are going to fridge it rolled out. I always do this. It cools faster and then it's already how I want it, so I can cut it or freeze it or whatever I want to do. All the food was smoking till an hour ago. Oh my gosh, no. Well, you can try it now. Just a little bit. The bread needs to rest. That's true. You cannot cut into a hot loaf of bread as much as I wish that were the case. And I've done it before and it doesn't, it doesn't cut well, but it's so good when it's still hot and you just butter it, or lard in your case, right, with the flavors. That's so nice. And you can just eat it up. I'm trying to mush most of the dough in the middle. There is more dough here than I have wax paper. Ah, okay, see, so it comes off fairly nicely. And so when it's cooled, it will come off very well and won't stick. Tomorrow you'll be doing a cleanup day, so you'll have about as much time for yourself as today. Oh my goodness, well, then is your plan on the weekend to definitely give yourself some self-care time? Time to just do whatever you want. For anybody who needs to hear that, please give yourself some time off. Yes, you have to do all the things, but then you get to rest. And it's okay to rest because you are not measured by the stuff that you do. I mean, sometimes we are, okay, let's admit it. We are sometimes evaluated by our tasks and our performance. That's like lots of workplaces do that. But you are allowed to exist and be appreciated just as you are without doing things. And you know I'm saying that because I struggle with that myself, right? I'm not pointing at any one of you, I'm pointing at me. But I thought maybe you could use it, you know? Sometimes we need to hear it. There we go, now I can really mush it. All right, so at 1/4 of an inch, which is how many millimeters? I have to cheat and look. It says it's about 6. Yeah, okay, we'll take that. So at about 6 millimeters, this is how much it makes, which, depending on which mold or cutter we use, is going to be a lot of bats or much fewer ghosts or pumpkins. So at the thinner, we would be much better getting more. Doing things is often overrated. It truly is. I've been reading books, Max. My book club was like, hey, we're gonna read book 3 in a series, because I should have read the first 2 because they were also in book club, but I skipped those. But it's by an author I really like. So finally I was like, all right, fine. So I got the trilogy and I read the first book yesterday and I'm reading the second book today and I'm like, leave me alone. I want to read the rest of the books. It's a really good series. There are times when I'm doing reading where I feel like I'm doing something, but I'm not doing anything. And that's a nice balance for me. So I'm not pushing myself really hard, but I certainly am getting something out of it. And it's for book club, so then I get to go be virtually sociable with, you know, my friends that I've been in this club with for 20 years, 15 years, a lot of years, you know, like it's a good thing, but you don't have to physically, you know, push myself to do it. So the situation from last year, you basically made the same amount of prep and nobody showed up. Boo. Well, I hope they all learned their lesson and they're coming this time. Otherwise, you just start Twitch streaming and then we'll all chat with you while you have your birthday party and it'll be great. We'll all be there. All right, this goes, I would normally freeze it if I was in a rush, but I'm not because I have other stuff to make. So we're gonna tuck it right in here under these potatoes. Yeah, let's just do that. My poor fridge. Never enough room in the fridge. All right, and this is our pasty dough. Let's find out how thick we need to roll it. It doesn't say. This is a little bit of a stressful recipe for me. Like, tell me what I'm supposed to, tell me all the things. I'll just do it and I'll note it. But first, I'm going to weigh it and divide it by 6, because if this truly does make 6, then I will need to know. Oof, I'll have to get out all my pans. I might have to get both ovens going. These are supposed to be kind of large, so like a big ol' like pie. Nope, that's not what I needed. I'm gonna do long division because I have to teach it to the kid anyway, and so it helps to keep sharp, right? I do know how to do this. It's just taking me a minute. Six goes into 51. This is where I'm like, it's 7 or 8 or 9, but I don't know which one. 7, 8. All right, ish. Krem, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate that very much. All right, let's unwrap this. I can see little white fat spots in it, so that's delicious. And so I will, see, it's so funny. I don't keep my pastry cutter or my pastry dough maker thing, but I don't keep my cutter, but I keep my scraper. This thing is so handy. So are a lot of the other things that I got rid of, but I use this all the time. So I can justify it to my own mind. Kevin, you had to invite some friends you haven't talked to for years. 2 people arrived about 15 minutes later. They both bought some small presents. Oh, your family ditched you. Oh, that's rotten. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's true. Your logic is correct. Why couldn't they have made it? I mean, if they're not in town, well, I don't know. Like with my family, a lot of the stuff that I don't make is either I really don't like the thing that we're doing. Like my kid hates water parks, so I'm not gonna go to a water park with my kid and my family because she's gonna be miserable. She's getting better though, she's getting better. But, or a lot of times we just are not able to, you know, go out of town and drive for 2 hours, 4 hours, that particular time. But we usually, I mean, see each other. If it was for a birthday party, we would all show up, that's what I'm saying. So I'm sorry that your family ditched you. That is not great. Okay, I just changed my mind. I was putting them at 140, I want them at 150, so. Too much. Too much. Oh, see, I tore it and there's that little bit of that gluten tear. That's nice. It's gonna be a good consistency. You're so, oh yeah, so glad the food wasn't wasted, for sure. Like, what do you do with all that food if you make it and nobody can show up? Oh yes, I am standing, thank you. My watch is so helpful. It is actually. I just like to sass it. All right, come on. We'll take 151. Yeah, wasted food. I mean, that's the thing about streaming and making all the food. I'm trying to make more stuff that integrates with our dinner like this, because otherwise I'm like, who needs 2 dozen caramel cookies? Let's see how big the big one is. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, that's the one that needs it. We'll give a little bit back from each of the others. Perfect. All right. Well, perfect. Good enough. We don't get perfect here. All right, let's heat the oven while we're thinking about that. 329, according to my conversion. So I'll put it at 330. And I'm gonna get some extra, so I have the cookie sheet ready, but I'm gonna get my other slightly smaller sheet ready with parchment, because I'm not sure how big these are actually gonna take up by the time I roll them out. Send the charcuterie board you had last year on the Discord. Tomorrow we can compare it to this year's. I love that idea. Sounds so nice. There is a cheesemonger who I follow on TikTok, and she sometimes posts the charcuterie boards they do, and I love them so much. There's like figs and like salami rosettes, you know, all the fancy things. Again, if I was doing this for my friends, I probably would put that much effort into it, but sadly, when I do it for my family, I don't. I should do that. I should make a very fancy charcuterie for my family one night, and they won't expect it, and then it'll be fun. There's already grease all over everything. Yeah, no, don't put it on there. That was hot. It won't burn paper, but we don't need to risk it. Alrighty. So how big? It wanted 20 centimeters, so again we measure. Not 20 centimeters. Yeah, 20 centimeters, not 20 millimeters. Okay, so almost as wide as the parchment is right here, but in a circle. Well, we definitely are going to need a smaller ring. I could roll it out with my French pin too, but I would like to keep them very consistent in terms of thickness, so we'll just use... Everything is fine. We'll use these. Oh, it's there. Thank you very much. I love keeping Discord active. I'm not maybe contributing as much as I could. This week has been really tough for me. I've been very tired. I had a thing like this probably 3 years ago. It was before the pandemic, where I had a month where I was exhausted and I had like certain kinds of body aches. I couldn't figure out the reason. It wasn't diet, it wasn't exercise. I went to the doctor, they ran all the blood panels. They couldn't figure it out, and then after that month it went away for like 3 years. So maybe it's just a thing that happens every 3 years, but hopefully it won't be a month of being tired, and I will have a lot more energy to put into Discord and Twitch and everything else. But for now, it has been tough. So I'm sorry that my stream has suffered because of it. That's still not all right. It's too small. So we get out the French pin. Ah, oh. All sorts of things going on under the cabinet. Looking back at the photo, you feel so sad. The food you can see there is basically only a third of all the stuff you had prepared. That is sad, but you know what? I'm so glad you had 2 friends show up. Thank God for them. If you had been really alone, that would have been the saddest. You invited 10, had food for 15, and you got 2. What do you do with the rest of the food? Just eat it over the days that came? All right, I'm gonna get a big, let's see if I have a big spoon. I don't want a wooden spoon. I don't even know why that's in here. All right. I'll get this slotted. Ooh, I've made a mess. That's the one drawer I can't make a mess in because I will never be able to open it again. Oh, it smells so good. I just opened it up. It literally, you can smell the onions, which I like. It's just literally all the meat and potatoes and onions from yesterday. There's no water in the bottom. Nothing's good. Nothing's been dripping or getting yucky. The meat's still nice and red for the most part. Just a little bit of exposure to the air. I should also weigh out how much all of this weighs, but I don't want to use a bowl just for that. So we'll go for it. So we'll fill this. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit. This should be nice and stretchy though. Should have plenty of gluten in it. The meat's still all clinging together though. Let's break it up, meat, come on. You had a lot of cheese, so you mixed it into sauce to make mac and cheese. Food was eaten over the week and the veggies were eaten with bread for breakfast for 2 weeks. There you go. Nice save, but a bummer still that it wasn't used the way it was intended. All right, I think I can probably put 1.5 to 2 spoonfuls in here. That seems to be about the right proportion for the volume that we have. And then the way salt and pepper, always salt and pepper. Because I did not season this last night, right? All right, very simple. Oh no, I forgot to change my, the counter cam to stop changing focal lengths. I must have done something to upset it. Sorry, friends. Sometimes if it doesn't go wrong, it doesn't remind me. Flat spin. Oh, you know what I didn't do was set a timer for the cookies, huh? Thanks for reminding me. All right, we're good though. All right, so we're gonna spread this like this, and the way they do it on the website in the picture is they fold up and roll up the edge. So you kind of sandwich the top into the bottom, roll it up so that it can't come undone and leak all its juices everywhere, which may happen anyway. But we call that a Cornish pasty, I guess. So I'll fit 2 on this tray. I'll roll the other one out here and flip it the other way. You even made your own pickles. Ooh, this year you just ate them with burgers today. Very nice. What flavor did you use for your pickles? I always prefer a dill pickle with garlic. That's my fave. Theater Tech, hello, happy Friday. Thursday here, yeah, you're ahead. I think you and Mortdahl are our official next day people from the future. So welcome. Happy Friday to you. It's Friday though? No. I'm not in Friday yet. Some lucky people are, so that's fantastic. I am going to, yes, I was asking everybody how their Thursday was, but now that you're here, I can say, how's Friday treating you? What do we have to look forward to in the future of tomorrow? No, it says that's what it said to do, is you roll them out and then you roll them up, right? Did I ruin it? Do you need to tell me how to do it? I haven't done these before. Okay, take the cat hair out is probably number 1. It's not like they shed it all over here on purpose. I did clean the counter off, it just everywhere. Aliens, right? The wacky future people. All right, I'm actually gonna take this one off and put it onto the other baking, my normal cookie sheet over here so that I need to, so it said to, oh yeah, there it is, glaze. With beaten egg or an egg and milk mixture. I'll probably just do egg, but I'll do that in a minute once they're all done so that I can get, right, we're gonna actually use a 2 rolling pin technique because I want this to be as even as I can get it before I start to mess with it to make it thinner. But my other rolling thing is a 1/16 of an inch, and that is probably gonna be too thin for this. No, I'm doing fantastically, okay. I thought you were like, no, Liz, it's wrong. You're ruining a national treasure. Not the first time I've heard that. I'm just kidding. I don't want to upset anybody in Cornwall, and I know it's not its own nation, but you know, that kinda thing. I almost hit the camera. Wouldn't that be great? Please clip it if I hit myself or the camera with my rolling pin. Carrot, garlic, carrots, celery stem, and
everything is fine. Nothing is ruined.
Thank you, Flatspin, as usual. That sounds good. Oh, hang on, Capio. Haha. Okay. Speaking of pickles, and me saying I only had Czech and German recipes, I have Polish pickles. See right there, it says Polish. And they have chili in them, and they're hot. And I like it, and I've never had them before. So I have Polish pickles, and maybe they're similar to yours. That's super fun. I mean, obviously I did not make these, but they do have lots of like onion and garlic and hot pepper. I put it in all my wraps. I make like a lettuce or a mustard green wrap with meat and cheese, then I put like the hot pickles in the middle. Perfect. You're exceptionally nervous today. You need to find a hairdresser. Are you nervous about finding the hairdresser, or are these two things related in a different way? Are you going on a hot date and you need a haircut? As someone who is happily married and doesn't need a hot date, it still occurs to me whenever you say, I'm nervous and I need to find a hairdresser, that you're going on a date. I don't know why. Save thousands in haircuts. I actually thought I might trim my hair very short and just have the tips blue for a while, but if I ever give in to getting my hair bleached again so I can make it blue again, but I'm not sure I'm not sure what, but I just today had an idea, oh, I should cut it off really short. Not pixie cut short, I've done that before, but I won't do that again. Irish and the child both are not fans, and it does need to get cut every 6 weeks or I look shaggy, so not worth it. Chili and Polish pickle sounds about right. Okay, perfect. So Capio, I have legitimate Polish pickles then. I'm glad. Okay, wait. Theater tech, wait, what? You like pixie cuts? Flat spin, you just put a pixie on your head? Just teasing. I don't know, you could have a hot date. I don't know enough about you. And if you told me you're like, I can get a hot date to save my life, I'll be like, yes, you can. We're gonna blow up your confidence until you're ready for a hot date. Like, I don't know. I think everybody could deserve a hot date. I could have a hot date with Irish, except we're both like, oh, going out? Oh, that's a lot of work. Mortal. Dinos. It needs a bucket. Yes, a bucket? This is the firefly. These are the firefly dinos. They don't get a bucket. Do dinos need buckets? Now I need to think about that. I haven't watched the latest dinosaur movies, so maybe that's what I'm missing out on. You like, oh, Flat, you like ladies with pixie cuts. You're not just envious to get one yourself. Okay. Polish alcohol. Like spiritus? What is it made of? Absinthe. Ooh, nope. Blech. Just don't care for the flavor. Of course, you couldn't get it here for ages, so. How are you, Mort Doll? We were just talking about theater tech being in the future, as you are, since it is Friday. How's your Friday? How has your week been? What's up with you? The show is getting filmed tonight. You need to not look like a lion on your head. You could look like an eccentric genius. It's fantastic. That's super cool that you're getting. Do you always get one of your shows filmed? Like, is that a normal thing so that you can have like something for distribution? Or is this like a whole new thing? 98 proof. Oh, that's quite strong. I'm like, is it 12 to 14? Okay. It'll be on Amazon Prime in December. So cool. Oh, you will have to send us the link and we will have to see it. That is so, so cool. First time. Ah, good. You like the hallucinations though. That was a different thing, flat spin. That wasn't because of the absinthe. Or so they say. I read it on Wikipedia. I did. I read it on some other stuff too. And I had read about it before Wikipedia, which dates me, like I'm pretty old, right? So there was, my child found the, we went to the library, regional library on Tuesday, and she found a whole reference section and she just laughed. She's like, look at these big books. What is this? And I was like, let me explain to you about before Google and Wikipedia. They're encyclopedias. And she's like, oh, okay. And she went off to do something else. Good times. And then she didn't end up even borrowing anything. She just sat there and read. Hi, how are you? Is it wine time? It is. Cornish pasties. No, those are pasties. That's what I was saying yesterday. Flank steak. Oh, I forgot to season them. Cut up tiny and tenderized. Some rutabaga, some onion, and some potato. Rutabaga is like potato, only crunchy. But it'll get cooked and then it'll be soft. It's a bit waxy. I got it in my H-E-B order. Yeah. No, it's because it's raw. This cooks for an hour. So it should not be raw by the end of the hour, I would think. One would hope, yeah, exactly. Dad, Flatspin says, Dad.
Hi, Flat.
Dad. He said hello. Encyclopedia Britannica, Flatspin, I read that thing. Like, I read it. 12 to 14, that's a strong beer here. Yeah, or a wine. Or a Prosecco, which is what I will drink. If you hand me a Prosecco and it's a dry Prosecco, I'll probably drink it. That's why you can't take me out anywhere. You just keep feeding it to me and then I'm like, hey, you want to steal a stop sign? I've never stolen a stop sign. Just saying. Oh, thank you, Theater Tech. I will hydrate. I will honor your suggestion. I've been chatting away, huh? This is why we need to keep libraries open. Darkwood meat pies, Cornish pasties, meat, rutabaga, onion, and potato. Greasy, hello, how are you? What have you been up to? I saw you streaming last night and it was a horror one and so I didn't come say hi. I know. I'll try and do better. I went to bed at 9 yesterday and ate the night before. That's where I've been on this whole like weird, tired, achy thing. So I do try to leave y'all with lurks though, as many of you as possible. I did a shout out for Cookie and George's hot sauce. Let's do shout outs for, I can't type. Amazon Broadway show called The Gone Wrong Show. I can't even say it. Sounds fun. I didn't actually watch you, Reese. I just went to last night, and because a lot of times you're doing the jump scare screaming thing, and that lady with the eye patch thing, like she's slightly disturbing to me. There's a DCS clip of yours though. So yeah, the mortuary assistant. There's weird stuff. Capio, good night. Happy birthday again. This will be your whole birthday week. I hope people come to your party. I hope you have a great time. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, if you're interested in frosting. But for now, take care. The Gone Wrong Show. Hey, Flat, can you put a link in my Discord to that, please? If it's available to link, that would be super. Kelly Cakes, I missed you come in. Oh my gosh. Only an hour for the Pasties Theater Tech, yes. Kelly, I'm so sorry I missed you. I am super great. I need to shout Kelly out. So, Kelly Cakes is one of the first. I'm gonna talk and type wrong. Let me do it. Kelly is one of the first streamers I started watching before I was streaming. And she's super fun and funny and wonderful and light and all the things, and she makes amazing cakes. But then she had to go for a little bit, and now she's back. So I'm super excited because that was one of the streams I aspire to be like. I will never. Okay, so Cookie Manor, who is lurking now to get ready for her own stream in a little bit, in an hour, does royal icing piping on cookies. Kelly Cakes does a magnificent cake version of like the decorating and the lettering and all the things. So if you know Cookie Manor and like her, you'll love Kelly Cakes. You should follow her and grab her next time she's on. She also has a hat routine, which is super great. She's got some fun hats. If you're in my Discord, there's me in a banana hat and Kiddo in a pineapple hat, and I was thinking of Kelly Cakes after my friend sent it to me, and I was like, oh, this is really silly and fun. So anyway. Cookies, attaboy. I will get them out. I'm gonna finish this. Don't let me forget that I have cookie dough in the freezer though, because I'll just chat with you guys for ages, and then I'll forget we're making coffee cookies as well. Boy, this dough is so greasy. Both of my rolling pins are just saturated. It's good. Then nothing sticks to them. Hats are great. My kid is getting rid of a lot of fun headbands, and I was like, oh, I could do a headband thing. Headbands give me a headache like pretty much right away. So that's a terrible idea for a stream. Instant headache for Liz. Redeem for 100 points. All right, I think I'm gonna do a scoop and a half. And I'm actually gonna put seasoning on these. Two of those over there are not seasoned, which is so sad, and we'll find out which ones it is when we eat them. Here we go. We're gonna make it a little bit smarter, right? Work smarter, not harder. Oh, thank you very much, Geek Boy. You're so sweet for giving Kelly Cakes the sub. I appreciate that so much. She really is amazing. Used to have so many headbands. Now they're your kids, they claimed them. So my kid had like these great ones, and then she never wore them. And they don't bother her like they bother me, because usually my glasses and the headband both hit in the same point, and then I get like a tension headache really fast. Oh, Geek Boy. You sub too? Aw, thank you. You're a sweetheart. That was really kind. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of the subs and all of the follows and all of the lurks and all of the chat. I know a lot of people aren't able to necessarily sub because it's money, right? But I do appreciate them greatly. And I also want to say that every part of participation in my stream that you do, even if you're like a lurker, even if you've never ever said hi to me, which I mean is okay, but I'm not scary, really mostly. But I do appreciate all of you and all the ways that you make a difference in my stream. Irish and I were talking about, it's been rough for different reasons, like Comcast has been a big problem, like in a lot of our streams, so there were times we couldn't stream. And we are doing it for fun, out of love, not, to make a buck. Can't really make a buck on Twitch easily. Takes a lot more work than I'm able to put into it. So this is really fun for me, and it's a work of heart, and y'all are very instrumental in that. So I appreciate you all. Got that kind of backwards? That's fine. You're all right. Like the suborder? That's what I was thinking you were saying, but no one says you have to do it any certain way. I appreciate it so much. All of you for everything that you do. All right, this one's, I just started wadding this one up. Let's try and, it's because my fold was not where I wanted it to be. So I've got to kind of do more of a pinch and, okay, I cannot forget to egg wash these. There's no room over there. I'm gonna make room. They don't expand. Surely they won't expand. They don't have any leavening in them. It's fat and flour, y'all. So we'll make some room. We've got rectangle here.
That's what she said.
Flat spit. I don't know about you, but as soon as you played that, my mind went to all sorts of dirty places. Like, whew, that was a solid one. I have a dirty little mind, which is why I have to keep it family friendly, because boy, we would get into so much trouble otherwise. I mean, my kid did come down and say, yeah, when I can stream, I'm gonna drop the F-bomb. And I'm like, that, I'm so classy. Somebody's gotta keep it together. It won't always be me though. Goodness. You wish you didn't expand when you ate fat and flour. I know, right? It's so good though. I've come to terms with, like, I can be like real fit, like I can look like real fit and all that stuff, or I can look slightly less fit and eat food that I like. So I'm gonna do that, because eating food that you don't like or refusing to eat food that you love both seem like weird forms of self-torture, and I'm not about to treat myself that way while I'm preaching to y'all to treat yourself well, right? That would not be honest in any way. And authenticity is really important to me. So, you know, you get the authentic, like I'm a little bit round in some places because I eat cookies all the time. Not all the time. You know, though, I always sample what I have, and usually it's good and I like it, so I eat it. Thank you, Max. I hope they're up to standard. I mean, they're not quite, but are you from Cornwall, or you just enjoy the pasty? Did you hear Irish? Were you here when Irish came down and said, oh, those are the things you put on your ninnies? And I said, no, those are pasties, which is what I was calling them yesterday. So, oh gosh, okay. So we have to use up half of this. I did not fill them quite properly. We will have some left over. There's no way I'm gonna get all that in there, but that's okay. Totally fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. I cannot fit all this. No, I'm gonna have to take some of this back out. Did I call her Kaya? No, I called Kaya earlier. You got family in Cornwall, so visit and bring back frozen pasties. Okay, so these are looking okay then. You wouldn't reject these completely. Good, I'll take it. I'm an American, I mean, I'm doing what I can. No, that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. This is a nice dough. This is really, I'm gonna rhapsodize on it just for a minute. It's pliable. It is lovely and stretchy. We put like 4 teaspoons of gluten into the 500 grams of flour to make it strong flour. It's so lush because it's got the vegetable shortening and the butter in it. And like, yeah, it's a little greasy, but it's not getting things yucky. Like this, it's easy to work with. I enjoy this dough. So if it turns out to be good, I mean, and I could mix, you know, herbs on it or something if I get fancy, but just as a base for a pie crust, like a hand pie, I'm very impressed with it. Being easy to work with is really important for me. Oh, Momo, yeah, no. Kathy's bonus daughter is Amaya. No, I call her Kiddo, but her name is Momo. So it doesn't end with a which is unfortunate for your connection there, but it is what it is. We were going to call her Leia after the princess, but we ended up, I don't remember why we didn't. I think it was before we realized we were going to homeschool her, because we didn't realize that until she was about 4.5. And we were like, well, will she get beat up at school with this name? So it's funny when you go to name your kids, sometimes you think about, oh, can they have alliterative names? Can they be named after my mom? Can they, you know, and for both of us who had harder times in public school, we were thinking very first thing is like, is this going to get her beat up? Is she going to be rejected because of this? So, all right, that goes there. A streamer whose youngest is Freya, 6 or 7 now. I know, oh gosh, Farron, one of my friends' girl's name, gosh, and she must be like 8 at this point. It's been a while. Her name is Farron, and I love that name. I think it's amazing. Freya is an awesome name too. Sometimes they put holes or patterns in the dough so they know what the pasty has in it. Yes, and I was thinking like slashes, you know, like the 3 slashes is classic, right? That would make sense if I was making more than one flavor. So I can remember that, and I'll do that. I think I did something like that when I was making the sourdough Pop-Tarts, and I just ended up making a bunch of pies that looked like they were bleeding, which was gross, but they would be good for Halloween. So maybe I should do that again. Do a creepy treats. Kelly, are you going to do anything for Halloween related or fall related? Anything like that? I would love to be informed, and then I will try to make time and energy to come watch. A pasty is a hand pie flat, as far as I can tell. Ah! Nobody saw it. Everything is fine. Just dump it on the counter. All right, so I do have too much left over, so I can do better at portioning next time. If these all fall very flat after they're cooked down, I will know to like shove it in, but I am stretching the pastry a bit thin, especially on these knobbly corners of the rutabaga and stuff, so I don't want to puncture anything. I will try and put more meat in there. Oh, Freya's not from WoW. WoW got her from Norse mythology, which is what the whole Wrath expansion's on, right? Jormungandr. Dude, if you like anything Norse related, Dr. Jackson Crawford. Dr. Jackson Crawford on YouTube. And he has a Patreon, and we were Patreons for a while of his. He is a Old Norse scholar, and he has all these pronunciation guides, and me and the kid would just sit there when we were doing the Viking unit, and we would write in Elder and Younger Futhork, and then we would pronounce like all the Viking names and stuff. It was super fun. I highly recommend it if you get nerdy about languages. You're planning on scaring the crap out of kids. Great, Flat. Film it and put it on Twitch. Another lady I used to know in WoW named her youngest Arthas. I bet she regrets that now. Have you seen the storyline? I'm only catching up on it. I just watched the cutscene where Sylvanas is like betrayed by the jailer, and then what's his face goes in, and Uther Lightbringer goes in to her and it's like, look, you have betrayed your younger self. You destroyed everything. Terrible. We have to go save Arthas. Okay. Kelly, you want to? You're so busy. Get something going. Oh my gosh. You're not even relaxing. You're making dinner. Aw. Well, Kelly, don't add a stream onto that no. Like, do your, because are you doing the cake thing now? Like the business part, right? That was part of what you were doing before you took the hiatus and moved, right? I mean, moved. Did you move? I feel like you said you were going to move. Anyway, and so yeah, I would love to see, I would hate to miss the stream. Let's put it that way. I'd hate to miss the stream if you do a Halloween stream. But don't feel obligated, of course, right? No, too much. A fjord and tundra in Northrend, yes. Howling Fjord, yep. Geek Boy being a Led Zeppelin fan, when people ask you where you're from, I come from the land of the ice and snow. Yes, I can hear that line. Krampusnacht. Are you a Scrooge? Are you a curmudgeon, flat spin? Every time I hear anybody talk about Krampus, I'm like, ah, curmudgeon-y. Until Shadow ends, you'd hope that Sylvanas would redeem herself. Shifted more to ally anyway. We've always been alliance, and so meh. But I mean, maybe they'll play it out in Dragonflight. You know, she's gonna redeem herself and then redeem Arthas somehow. Who I just want to hit with this ruler. I'm like, bad character. Kelly, you're working as a cake decorator, not your own business. Okay, I see. Well, yeah, that's got to keep you super busy. Oh my gosh. And of course, is this the start of like the big cake season? Because everybody wants these festive holiday themed cakes. Or is it more like, do you get more like wedding cakes in the summer? Is this super busy? I would imagine. You love Christmas, Flat? You can love Christmas and be a curmudgeon. It's okay. Aw, Creme came back from a lurk. Yay. That's okay. I know you have to go again. You know what I'm going to do? Because look at how sad these look. Oh, thank you for Creme. Got a gift sub from Geek Boy. Thank you, Geek Boy, so much. That's 3 subs. That's so generous. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. I know I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I really do appreciate you all and all the ways that you make this stream really fun. Wedding cakes for fall time are a big deal. Oh. Actually, come to think of it, my cousin is getting married in October next year. So yeah, I was like, oh, aren't they mostly like spring or summer? Around here, they need to be like fall and winter so you can actually breathe. All right, so I have these 3. And I ended up putting, 3 on each. They will fit nicer than 4 and 2. If I had my tiny like quarter sheet out, that would be different. All right, I'm gonna get some of this delightful butter and lard off my hand, or not lard, shortening, off my hands. And then we'll get out a little dish. I'm not sure how I'm gonna cook the stuff in the bowl because I'm sure the potatoes and rutabaga need to be cooked for ages, but then the steak might be overdone. Flat, off of work most of December. Oh, I can see that. That's your happy time. Very nice, Flat. Geek Boy, you noticed you were caught up on stuff and have a couple of plasma donations to do this week. Are you selling your blood for Twitch subs? Oh my gosh. You don't have to do that. Talking about winter in Houston, I know, right? Duck blinds and decoys for you, Darkwood. Do you hunt? I never got interested in sitting in the cold until I got to shoot at and miss an animal. Creme coming back to say you have to go AFK, but you're going to keep the stream running. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I'd like to talk about never seeing another winter again. You need to move. Not blood, just plasma. But don't they like take all the blood out and then spin the plasma out and then put the blood? I mean, you need all of it. Isn't that right? Don't they like take the whole blood out and then centrifuge it and then give you, like take out the straw colored, the pale plasma stuff and put the red blood cells back in? Red, hello, how are you? Moving to Costa Rica, excellent. We'll come visit you. I'll eat all the bananas till I make myself sick. All right, egg. I could do milk wash. I don't know why. I just like, well, I like egg wash with salt. I like it to be very salty when I put an egg wash on it because I love how shiny and crusty it gets with the salt and the egg. So we're gonna do that. They're generous to give part of the blood back, right? Usually they just take it all. I have not given blood in years because I was in the UK in the wrong time. And so, but now they're saying that I probably for sure don't have mad cow disease. And by they, I just mean the general guidelines, like I should be exhibiting symptoms now. So if I'm not, I should be fine to donate blood. But I literally got rejected so many times over the past 20 something years of trying that it would be very weird to give blood. Oh well. Red, I'm doing awesome. What are you up to? Are you playing with Irish? Did you buy him a game of some kind? Thank you all, by the way, who support my husband's game habit because that's kind of what he does now and it keeps him busy. And I appreciate that. Because here I am down here doing my own thing. Child's off doing her own thing. It's like a family of introverts, which we are. All right, I'm just gonna egg wash the heck out of these. I definitely want it to get around the edges so that hopefully it glues it together. So I'll do that first. Like if they made, actually, there was a show on Netflix called something about engineering and cuisine or something like that. I could look it up. And it was about, can you use food to engineer this kind of thing? And it was like derby cars. It was like, can you make a car that'll go, you know, this far or down this slope or survive this crash test or something like that. And so they had made food grade epoxy out of like rice cereal treats, and then you boil down some, I don't know what kind of sugars, but it was really cool because they came up with it in like the second episode. They were on teams, and then like by the 5th episode they were using it for everything because it was so good. And I thought, like, I want a little bit of culinary epoxy, just like make sure this doesn't come open and dribble juice out everywhere, which it probably will do. So I'd be in for that. The problem is I'm sure it's full of sugar, and I'm not really wanting to put like a sugar crust on my meat pies. All right, this will be enough egg. That is always gratifying. Trust the Americans to make a car they could eat. For real, right? Come on, like what embodies us more? Unless it was like a beer dispensing fire truck car made out of food that had a flag on it. We like to be clever, and then sometimes we're not. There's a whole lot of us, and most of us are pretty interesting, so that's okay. Unfortunately, some of the really unpleasant ones get known for being American, and the rest of us kind of roll our eyes and or vote them out. So we'll see how that goes. For anybody who's not from US, we're getting close to voting a really big, non-presidential, but the next biggest one. So don't watch American news TV is what I'm gonna suggest. Like, probably won't be very fun. I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, but most of it's political ads during this season, and it's awful. So-and-so did this horrible thing. You can't trust them to not do it again. Like, okay, like stop yelling at me from my TV. I don't really need that. Propaganda, flat spin. Nobody said anything. All right, salt. Salt makes everything better, including caramel, so I will fight you. Actually, there's plenty of things I don't need salty, but that's okay. 330 for 55. Not quite low and slow, but kind of slow and kind of low. So, all right. So I set a 45-minute timer and an hour timer because they were the timers I had, but also I'll check them at 45. If they need another 15, great. If they don't, I can set a 3, a 5, an 8, and we'll see from there. But they'll remind me. So I can dump the rest of my egg wash. Not delicious. I'm going to get my rag and clean off all of these utensils just really quickly. They're all commies. Boy, you sound like the 80s flat. Commie bastards. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Now they're like, oh, they're socialists. They're, oh, there's so many things. So many things that other people don't want people to be. Pasties cooking makes a great smell. I think it will, because when I opened up that bowl and I got the onion and the meat, that was really nice. So as they cook, I would imagine they're going to get really juicy. that'll be fun. Oh, right, this one stays out because we might make a thinner cookie. We'll just stick the microphone receiver there and hope everything goes fine. Flatspin wears pasties. Both stink. Anybody who isn't aware of how human nature makes things pretty rough for the optimist and the idealist has something going on. And that is all I will say about politics right now, other than everything I just said. Oh, and I will say, I said this yesterday, I should say this probably every day. If you're in the United States, make sure you're registered to vote, and then please go vote. If you can early vote, even better, because then you don't have to deal with everybody else in line for an hour. Tassels, yes. Motorizer. Chat, it's not safe for work right now, but that's okay. You won't vote anymore. Flatspin, it's your job. Come on. We're not going to tell you how to vote. We just want you to vote. All right. That's coffee cookie dough. Let's make some. Oh, you don't trust the process anymore? You're in a hard place then. Yeah, that sucks. It's like when you can't trust like the encyclopedia to tell you the right thing because it's done you wrong before. You're in a hard place. All right. You do freedom, do what you want or don't. Yeah. All right, we're going to get back onto the more important topic, which is which cookie cutter should we use for our coffee cookies. So a poll is incoming. We'll do it for 2 minutes. The poll has started. It is in alphabetical order so that there should not be any bias on my part, other than a bias for the American alphabet. It's not American, y'all. It's everybody's. All right, I'm gonna try and bend this down without cracking it, because a little bit of it got wedged. I can't roll it out. I mean, I could, but I'd have to change the bumpers. This is our thick stuff. You're gonna go get in trouble now? The two parties are called Fox and CNN. Oh goodness. A rally where we get rid of them all. You boys can make your plans, absolutely. Irish is sensing my shut up face. I cannot think of the last time I told my husband to shut up. He doesn't do things very often that require that, thankfully. Flatspin, quoting Squizzy there. You shut your face, Irish Faye. I can't do it, but I wish I could. So good. Your wife tells you to shut it all the time, Flatspin. Do you? Does it work? Do you take it as like kind advice or like antagonism? Red raids. Call them rad rads. All right, let's see where we are on the poll. Hey, we have more than 2 votes. I love it when that happens. I see. Ghost is coming up strong. Okay. See if we can finish it out. If you have an opinion, did I just kill the poll? I meant to make it minimize. You ignore her. Oh, so it works well. I see. Do y'all still see the poll, or did I ruin it? Also, where's my tea? I killed it. Sweet. Well, ghosts win because I ruined everything. Darn it. Thank you all for voting. We'll get some ghosts going. The dough smells really nice. It smells like coffee. Ah, I broke its arm. Oops. Goodness. I'll get a butter knife. I need to preheat the bottom oven to 350, 375, if it will let me. Yep, for 10 to 12. Because it is smart oven, sometimes it does not let me make the bottom oven and the top oven have too much of a temperature difference because it knows that it will leak heat between the two. A is for Alfred and B is for bats. The bat's my favorite, so we'll just see. I ran a poll and then I'm not even listening. Aren't I a terrible person? I say that so much. It's completely unjust. None of us are, I mean, if you're mass murdering people, please stop, but I don't think any of us are that terrible that I would call you a terrible person, so. Hopefully we're all taking it in jest. I do need to get this poor ghost's arm up. Please stop mass murdering. See? That should work, right? You're horrible. Flat spin, you're just like a terrible person. No excuses. How far does it say to space them out? An inch. All right, well, we'll scoot this one. Oh, I forgot. Its arm came off. All right. Oh, it's getting so soft. I just ruined the bat points. Definitely want to handle it only while it's soft. Okay, so I'm going to put those two on that sheet, and then I'm going to roll it thinner, and we'll do a couple more ghosts and put it on this sheet, and we'll see which thickness we like, because it said between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch, and that's a lot of difference in a cookie to me. So we will take that accordingly. That one's clean. Terrible, 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 that's true. All right. I'm just patching part of it together, and I will roll that part out enough that we can really make a determination on thickness. I'm gonna fridge it before I cut the next bit though. We still have, well, a little bit of time while that's preheating. But because it looks like it's gonna preserve the shapes much better if I have it fully fridged when I cut, I'll go ahead and do that. So we'll just roll this bit out nicely. I assume we'll be able to remember or determine by looking which one is gonna be the thick one. But I'm gonna put this back in. Ooh, it's just all floppy. We'll put it in for 5. That way if that goes off beforehand, I won't get all excited and try and do something that I shouldn't. Hot tea, I have warm tea anyway. 9. You're so funny, you two. Not hot enough. Right, all right, that's gonna heat. Please enjoy my microwave while I actually put some more ingredients away. I didn't have to fill up the flour though, which is interesting. So I have another 5-pound bag to put in there. That'll last me another week probably. Depends on what I make next week. I might take a week off. I don't know, I've been thinking about that for a while. Taking a week off, just spending time doing nothing maybe. It would be funny if all my energy came back the week. I'm like, I'll just take a break. And then I'm like, ready to do everything. I just stream anyway. Sneak down here, stream. I take the schedule very seriously, and I probably shouldn't. Think so, Geek Boy? Funny. All right. Let's see what else. Okay, so I have vegetables in the pasties, sort of. They're veggie-ish. So I have cookies and veggies. Yes, we'll wait. Yeah, my phone did just tell me that my oven was ready, didn't it? Yeah. Ooh, we get to go to the mailbox and pick up this sriracha. Because last night Irish said, you know, I think I really would like some because it's hard to find. Apparently there's a shortage of the peppers that they make sriracha out of. And so I was looking on Amazon, you can get a 2-pack, but it's not cheap. It's not. It wasn't ever cheap, but it just, everything's more expensive. So chuckling at stop mass murdering. See, I feel like that's good advice though. So, you know. I'm not sad I said it. I should have a PSA for the day on my screen, and today's would be, please vote. Also, don't mass murder anyone. Stop after at least after 2. 2 is fine. No, please don't murder. Gosh, you mass murder food sounds good. I'm in. There's those people who are like I don't think I could eat all the hot dogs. They're like, oh, here's a giant pizza. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could finish that. I might vomit later, but like I could hold it down for a while. It's cheese and bread. It's like the best. Just eat it all. See, I know though, my favorite dessert's cheesecake, and I could eat a whole cheesecake myself and I would be really sad afterward. Like after like 2 or 3 pieces, I'd be like, I think I'm oozing cheese out of my pores, you know? I just get that feeling, so. Not to mass murder a second. No, vote first, Max. We have priorities here. Maybe so. Who can really put these things in a hierarchy though? You know? What's worse to you may not be worse to someone else. Like to my dad, I'm pretty sure being socialist is the worst thing you could possibly do ever in your entire life. So everything else pales in comparison, right? Okay, well, knock off somebody here, do a little light poisoning there, but don't be socialist, you're right. I'm just using my dad, and y'all, he's a good guy, so don't worry. But it is funny that the things that people say or get so upset about, and then if it came down to it, what would happen? Cheese and bread with yummy meat and olives. Or like, oh, I love olives. I like black and green olives. I haven't met an olive I didn't like. And if you stick a garlic clove in an olive, best. Have you had that? It's so good. Yeah, I would eat cheese and bread with olives and some meat. But the thing about the meat then is I couldn't eat as much of it because like if it's that, like the pork sausage that they put sometimes on pizzas, it's delicious, or bacon, I could not finish that pizza. But if you just give me bread and cheese, all day. All the pizza. No regrets. Kalamata. They are. Occasionally you can get them like in a salad, and then I feel like, oh, I'm getting the good stuff. What's the difference even? Do you know the difference? Like, I feel like the oolong tea of the olives, because they're not green and they're not black, but they're kind of really, really, really dark green, almost black. All right, that is our timer for the other cookie dough, the skinny cookie dough. The pasties are starting to smell good. There's a nice baking, delightful thing baking smell, you know? Actually, I guess we're gonna have to do a ghost in a bat just to be consistent, aren't we? Bat spin, you get your bats. The bill comes in as $15 for a salad. Yeah, I know. Oh, come on. There we go. Come on. Excellent. Now what I should do, because we have our co-op group tomorrow, is bring this cookie, these chocolatey, sugary cookies and give them away to all the children. Actually, the Anzac biscuits that I made last week, I took on Friday and gave to the kiddos. They didn't have as much coconut in them as they should have because I ran out. But still, some of the kids, I had to say, like, are you okay with a little bit of coconut? And some of the kids were like, no, not under any circumstance am I okay with coconut. So all the kids who wanted one got one, and they liked them. So that was nice. It's fun to be the cookie lady to a group of kids. I'm famous for making cookies for kids. All right, skinny, not so skinny. And they go for 10. I know it's sad. I'm opening the top oven, which is where the pasties are, so they'll lose a little bit of heat, but they've got a long bake, so they'll be probably fine. I will wrap up the rest of this and freeze it, and then I'll wrap it up and I will leave it, and then I'll roll it out to whatever thickness we prefer. Then I'll freeze it, then I'll be ready. And I'll even mark a bag with the date and the name so that we don't have my fun freezer game called Bake This to See What It Is. Hello?
Bake this to see what it is? That's not right.
You haven't participated in those streams before? Where I'm like, hey, I found this dough in the freezer. You remember whenever I made pizza, but it wasn't pizza dough?
We're going to check them out.
Okay. It's apparently the 13th. I kept thinking it was the 12th, but I have no real, I even wrote 12th. No real basis for that. Coffee cookies. If I write the baking instructions onto the bag, I'm much more likely to not get frustrated. So, where's my other piece? It's right here. Good. We'll get it all prepped and ready. And then we can wait. Sit and eat as a family, of course. Kelly, thank you for being here. I appreciate that so much. Geek Boy, thank you again for the gift sub to Kelly. That was super cool. And yes, if I see you're streaming, I will definitely try and catch you. Otherwise, we'll see you around. But I appreciate you being here a lot. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna get some cookie dough off my hands that I didn't realize was there until just now. Let's sit and think about what we're gonna do with this though. Because I should probably just bake it in a little dish. I could just make a half. If these are good, I will make a half recipe of the dough and I'll make the rest into more pasties. And maybe they will be smaller. Maybe they'll be like snack size. So I'll just put the lid on it for now, actually. It did so well overnight without getting funky. I know it's seasoned now, so the salt will have some effect on it, but it shouldn't be too bad. I say that. We'll find out. It shouldn't be too bad though. So I hope these are really delicious. We'll eat them if they're not anyway, but you know, it's nice to think about something, especially because they can be frozen right before baking, where I can have, like I have my freezer doughs, you know, all my cookies. And, oh, is that why? Yep. That's why I have cookie on my hands, because I put the wrong side of wax paper on and then I touched it. A nice freezer dinner though, like to pull out and bake from frozen. And yeah, it still takes time to bake, but all the beautiful work of prepping the dough and letting it fridge for at least 3 hours and dicing all the ingredients is done. Then, if it really works well, I can just start putting other fillings in. If you were here last night, so we raided Mama Huevos and she was making chicken pot pie. I bet she was using, she said she cheated, right? She was using frozen carrots and peas kind of thing and a rotisserie chicken. But if I had leftover whatever from a meal and could throw in some veg in a pie crust and freeze it or bake it, like that would be easy, since none of us have any like gluten insensitivity and that kind of thing. There are smaller cocktail pasties. Do they have different flavors, or is it just the size difference, Max? Thank you for sticking around, by the way. I know it's late. I get the feeling you're invested in this, and I appreciate that because I'm very invested in this as well. I'm glad you're here with me. When I think of cocktail foods, I think of like meatballs on toothpicks, which tells you a lot about the parties I have been to and the ones I haven't. So, but I think you could probably play a lot with flavor. I'm gonna make a meatloaf probably tomorrow night, and you could even put like a meatloaf type filling into the crust like that if you wanted to. It wouldn't be, I mean, it'd be pretty solid because it just bakes in a solid mass, but I mean, why not, right? Loads of different sizes, also less traditional chicken pasties. Even tikka. I would love a tiki masala pasty. That would be so good. I just love Indian food. So, well, that's British Indian. So, but I like it. I've not made Indian food in a while, and I have the one recipe from my friend that I can do, you know, pretty well, like butter chicken or butter paneer, whatever you want to put in it. And so I made that a ton, but I need to probably branch out and get a couple of other like flavor profile dishes, because a lot of it you can do with tomato sauce and garlic and ghee, you know, or like I did that fake Thai curry the other day, which was garlic and ginger and coconut milk and tomato sauce. Like those are easy, almost cheats, but get some more flavors going because there are a lot of good ones. And then put them in like a pasty crust or a tart shell or something. Play with it. The cookies are smelling good. They have 3 minutes. Hi, baby kitty. You want to come here? Kaya, hello. Thank you. I hope you're going straight to bed and getting some really good rest. I appreciate so much again that you sent the information about the frostings. So if any of y'all are interested in Kaya's information about new and interesting frostings, it's pinned on Discord. Have a good one, Kaya. How are you?
Dad's is trying out for Prime Minister of my country.
Oh, as a queen, what relationship are you gonna have with the Prime Minister politically, baby?
The bottles are even bigger.
We got giant, oh, well, I guess they were worth it.
Those are chunky.
This is Texas gold right here.
Those are chunky.
I was telling everybody,
Those are chunky.
there's a shortage and they're getting
This
more expensive.
is Texas gold.
Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Probably not from Texas.
Get out of here.
So he's a happy guy now. That's good. He'll put it on the Cornish pasty probably.
Wow. I thought you were talking to me for a second.
Oh, the cat's already chewing up the mail.
These things get recycled.
I usually put them in the film recycle. The bag of bags. Thank you, dear. I'm giving the cat problems. Aw. Come here. Jocko making pizza dough and it's risen so high. It's in a happy place. Oh, good. I'm glad. What are you making on your pizza tonight? Hi, baby kitty. Hey.
And I'm the actual baby. I'm the best baby.
You're the best baby.
I'm the best.
This is the fuzziest baby, though.
This is Bitch Kitty.
No.
No, the other one is.
Say hi, my name's Bitch Kitty.
I thought this was a
Get out of here.
family stream.
Yeah.
Not when Daddy comes on, huh? Then it's just spicy. Okay, 1 minute. We usually do buffalo chicken, and of course you gotta have pepperoni. Excellent. So do you do like the buffalo sauce and then pieces of chicken, or do you actually take like, I would always assume wings or like whatever you have and like make it and then slice it and put it on? I don't think I've had buffalo chicken pizza. I know they've had it before. Usually I wait until I go to like CISbizness and they have the buffet of every flavor and then I try all of them. Irish is not a huge fan of CISbizness pizza though, because it's a buffet. I'm a huge fan of buffets. Like, yeah, somebody might have breathed on it, but it's pizza. I'm gonna eat it. Buffalo sauce and then chicken. Awesome. That sounds really good. We are very basic. I do like a margarita or a margarita with pepperoni for us when we make it. I did make an Alfredo one once with canned, like jarred Alfredo sauce. It was pretty good. It's your boyfriend's favorite. I can see that. I love buffalo sauce. I just don't eat like wings a lot or stuff that has buffalo sauce on it. But I would definitely like that on a pizza. I do like a vinegary sauce like that, like the Cholula or the Tabasco, that kind of, where it's spicy and it has that vinegar base. Alfredo sauce on pizza is so good, right? Okay, this was our timer for our cookies. No, all right. Pasties are still doing good. They look nice. They're golden. We'll pull these out. And I'll get a cooling rack. Hello. Oh, thank you. Coffee. You're going to be in your kingdom?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you have any questions about it,
Do you have any questions about Queen?
Questions about what? Oh, queen. Do you know how to be a queen?
he's a queen, yes, queen.
Yes, queen.
A lot of us espresso.
2 to 4 pods a day?
I haven't had espresso in forever.
No? Well, I did put one in your coffee one day and put an extra shot of espresso in there for you. You look super tired. Are you okay? Aw. Always tired's not fun.
Astros winning it.
Oh, the Astros won?
You took a poll and then you didn't.
I killed it. Well, no, because you didn't win. The ghosts won.
That's what I've been for.
I made ghosts. These are ghosts.
For pumpkin?
No. Yes, one person voted for pumpkin, and then I know Flatspin voted for bat. But then I killed the poll, so I felt bad. So I did what everybody wanted. I didn't mean to. I was like trying to close it, but X means to kill it, not close it. Watching your streams has really given me the itch to bake more. I love that, Jocko. That's amazing.
You should smell it.
It smells good in here, right? It smells like coffee and meat. You also made chocolate chip cookies, freezing the dough, and then it's ready for you at any time. I love that. See, and then you are always ready. Like, it's because of Irish. He's all like, do we have any, fresh cookies? And I'll be like, in 10 minutes we will. I love it. Like, I'm ready. I'm a Boy Scout, always prepared. I won't take that from the boys. They can have it. But I am prepared for a lot of stuff. I mean, I carry metal straws and a Tide to Go pen and some tea and a snack in my bag. Like, that's just at the beginning of it. I got a sewing kit. I'm always prepared. It is awesome. It is awesome. I love that. I like that my experience and your experience can be shared, and then we can be like, oh, well, hey, here's a quick and handy thing. The thing was, I never even thought about that because my mom was baking for 6 people, including her, right? So of course you make a dozen cookies. You make 2 dozen cookies because a dozen isn't enough for more than a day of us being around. So it never occurred to me how you would do it if you had 2 people or 3. So it's been a whole different mindset. Going to a friend's can bake fresh cookies. Yes, exactly. And especially, again, for the ones where it takes time to make the dough, where the dough is not just to dump it in the bowl and mix it and throw it in, but instead is more involved. And my chocolate chip cookies absolutely are. There's like 10 and a half minutes built into the recipe in addition to whatever else, because there's 3 minutes of wait between 30 seconds of whisk before you put the flour in. The flour and the soda and the powder. Just the soda, I think. So things like that, or like the galette tart cookies that I make. I will make a whole log of that because then I literally can come slice off a little bit like you would with store-bought dough, right? And it's super easy. Slice it and go. And it's homemade. Like literally it's all homemade. So that is a lot of people, yes. Not much leftovers. No. And usually like on Sunday mornings when we would do like a big breakfast and it was crepes or pancakes or something, Dad would make like a quadruple recipe and then sometimes he'd have to make another single recipe because one of us was still hungry. So yeah. They're yelling about politics upstairs because the child has made up her own government and Irish is challenging her. They do that a lot. They challenge each other quite a bit. She's trying to annex the bathroom into her country. She put signs up on her door. They're very funny. All right, I'm not eating them yet. I'm gonna let them cool all the way. We'll see how cool they are in 8 minutes because I'm super impatient and I wanna try these cookies. I'm really wondering how much the coffee tastes because I can smell it. Like they're screaming. She's screaming at her dad right now about this country thing. Her country, not the United States. Shenanigans, those two, I tell you. All right. Did she hear about the former Houston mayor, Lanier? No, why? What happened? I haven't either. I don't pay attention. I read like global headlines and I'm like, I'm done. That's enough. I'm fine with not knowing anymore. Until it gets around this time. And then I will start looking at like candidate positions because I will go vote at some point. Oh, annexing? Yes, probably. Well, actually, we told her the story. So we live on the north side. So we are outside of Harris County, but we're in Houston, but we're not. And so I was telling her, right, that like parts of, we call it different parts of Houston, Katy, Spring, Klein, Kingwood, Sugarland, all the, even like Uptown and the Heights and stuff. They're all different, but I was telling her like they all like are inside the city and then they have to do these certain things and pay certain taxes or whatever, and then taxes between counties and stuff. And so she's heard a little bit of it, but yes, Willowbrook, that's right, because I think I lived in that area right before or right after Willowbrook was annexed, and there was a big deal. And then people were like, yay, the bus lines will come up here. And all the other people were like, yay, the bus lines will come up here. Everything's ruined, so. Which you still really can't, you can get a bus on 1960. It's just going to take you to another part of 1960, and that sounds terrible. I didn't really know a lot outside of Spring, Klein, like Willowbrook area when I was a kid. Like, you could say Pasadena, and I thought it was another place, like another city. It's just, you just drive down 45 a ways, So I didn't have that concept, but bus lines can be a double-edged sword. And I think, like, there were a lot of big fancy houses in the neighborhood we were in, but we weren't in that section. We were in the house that was big enough to have 4 kids, There were 3 bedrooms. We swapped off sharing forever, so. Bob, I couldn't remember his first name. Irish will remember more because he is 6 years older than I am, so he will know more of that as like less of a clueless kid. Like, oh, something bad, I guess. Irish, did you ride the actual bus a lot? Did you ride like the Houston buses? Because I don't think I got on one for a long time. Like the park and ride for a while, but like other than that, I don't think I did. But you were in a part of town where they ran more. Memorial City and Willowbrook. Yep, it was. It was less taxes, I remember. You could go to the mall and it would be fine, but don't go somewhere else because it's more expensive. All right, y'all. Irish brought the coffee in. I'm going to put the coffee away in the cabinet while we're waiting in just a few more minutes. Ooh. He's right. Irish said, you sure do drink a lot of this. And I do. I was going to get more pumpkin spice pods, but they're 10 cents more each than the creme brulee flavor. So I can live without it. I'll just put some ginger and cinnamon in my coffee. Everything will be fine. There we go. When you were a kid in Houston, yeah, you rode your bikes everywhere. That's true, yeah. Geek Boy, you lived in town and rode metro a lot between cars. See, that works. I mean, that's what it's for. That would be good, right? Last few years were out west off Westheimer. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good buses. Well, a lot anyway, especially right down Westheimer. All right, so our thin cookies are slightly cooler than our thick cookies right now, as expected. We have 3 minutes exactly. Spend 3 more minutes seeing what we think. I was actually thinking I could make a glaze for these. So depending on how dry they are, I'm not at all above making a shot of decaf espresso and putting a bunch of powdered sugar in it and glazing these. It would be fun too to do an outline, especially like the eyes on the bat, the eyes on the ghost, and then maybe some like inner lines as well to give it some character. So that's an option. And they didn't puff at all. Do they have leavening? Nope. No, so same as my sugar cookie. This essentially is a sugar cookie with coffee and Kahlua in it. So, what is best in life? Cheesecake, coffee, and Kahlua. Or to crush your enemies, you know. You know the rest? The Conan one? I'm like those kids on America's Funniest Videos where the mom's like, okay, I'm gonna put this candy here and I'll be right back. You can't have it till I come back. And they just wait and twitch and wait and then they shove it in their face. I'm gonna wait until the timer goes off because I have self-control, but this much. You were just thinking that? It smells good in here. The meat, I smell the meat roasting. It's nice. It's gonna be juicy in there. I wonder if these will be wet inside. I did in the middle of the night wake myself up and go, I should put cornstarch in there before I bake them. And I went back to sleep and I remembered it when I pulled it out, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll try it by how it's written first. Sometimes you're hesitant to recite that. The lamentations of the women. It's the line. What's wrong with that? Of course you want to crush your enemies. Of course you want to see them driven before you. The lamentations of the women come naturally. It's fine. Really? I mean, like, really? Ugh. That's so funny. My friend was over today and then, oh, you know, younger people who haven't seen the movie think different things. She was saying something about like, I'm not sure about feminism, but this, and then I'm like, no, you are sure about feminism because it really, like, originally is just like, can we all get paid the same for the same job? Can we all get treated equally in the right situations? It doesn't mean that nobody can have a gender, you know? And so she was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I was like, we can be chill. We don't have to be like extra about it. I don't know. Anytime I see anybody making a stink about like a language that has any part of gender or sex in it, I'm like, is that it? Are you just like afraid that somebody's gonna say you can't be who you are and do what you do? I mean, if you're just being rude and you're just being like, getting paid more because of your biological bits, then I'm not super thrilled with that, but. All right, time's up. Again, I got stuck talking about something that I probably don't need to be talking about. Not here. We'll save that for elsewhere. All right, thick ghost arm. They do get a bit of meat juice, but not, okay. As long as they're not like pouring out max. I was hoping that was gonna be a good part, not a detriment, you know? Like a wet pie, nobody wants a wet pie. Okay. Ghost arm is good. That's the thick cookie. It's a little bit sweeter than I thought it was gonna be. I'd love a little bit more coffee. I like the thinner cookie better. I thought I would. It is generally what I prefer. You get a little bit more chew on the thicker cookie. The thinner cookie is almost all crunch. I would love for Irish to come down and try a bit. Really nice. and buttery. Like you get the buttery after a little bit. 5, 4. Let's see if it comes. I do actually get a little bit more coffee flavor out of the thicker one though. So. Not sad. Not sad about those at all. That's really good. I'm making notes. I could yell for him. He goes, you don't even watch my streams at all. I'm like, no, I leave it on upstairs. And he's like, yeah, but you're downstairs doing stuff. Accurate. I don't actually watch his streams. I do try to. And when I have the energy, I can, but it's not been lately. I'm saying they're both good at both thicknesses, which is nice. They're yelling at each other again. Maybe I should interrupt with cookies. I'll go do that. Be right back. All right, we'll see. The child has been deployed to come get some cookie. I love the bats. I would just do the bats by themselves, right? Although what would be nice, especially if we do a Mexican hot chocolate one with a little bit of chipotle and cinnamon, would be to have red hots for their eyes. Hey. Okay. There's a thicker and a thinner one. What do you have in your mouth?
Pretzel.
A pretzel, okay. That's the thinner one, so it's crunch. Why are you blowing on it? Like, that's weird. Maybe. Take a bite.
Delicious.
Take a bite. Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all, I should mute. This child was born with headphones attached to her face, I know. She doesn't even take them off to talk to me. She just got them on full.
I don't like them.
What about this one? This one has more robust flavor.
What does robust mean?
Full and strong.
Not a huge fan of either of them.
Okay, what do they mostly taste like?
Bitter coffee.
Bitter coffee. Can you taste all that chocolate in there?
No.
Okay, will you bring those to Dad, please?
I can't taste them very well.
Okay, she's nibbling them still though, so she's eating them.
This one's good.
The thin one? The thick one. The thicker one is more chocolatey then, I would think. We'll do one more taste test down here. You have Daddy taste test and you can get in chat. All right, she thinks audio comes from her eye. She's right. The thicker one, you get the chocolate more. The thinner one, you get the coffee more. All right, not mad, not at all. This is a nice recipe. Oh, it's time to check the pasties. Because we're on fan, it does make a bit of a difference. So, oh yeah, I see clear juice in that one. I'm gonna get a fork and see if it pokes through to see if I can tell if the rutabaga, you know what, leaving the oven open is not the best choice. Oh wow, almost threw them on the floor. So that would have been very exciting. The thin one is good, is so good. The kiddo likes the thicker one because, and I think it's because it's more, you can get more chocolate out of the thicker one and you can get more coffee out of the thinner one. Excellent, notes made. Thank you very much, babe, for checking on that. All right, I'm gonna stab a pie. You wanna watch? I might dump them on the floor again. All right, it is plausible that these are ready. The fork went through it super nicely. So I'm gonna cut one open and we'll see. I'm gonna cut the thickest one open. This is the thickest on both sheets. I think I have cookie crumbs in my throat. I'm not gonna roll the rest of it at all because we have our two differing thicknesses and I don't want to do one or the other at this point. I've made my notes. So now I can just wrap this up and I'll move the pies over here and we can cut them, well, a pie over here and we will cut it and see. Oh, the fridge is full of stuff. Oh, I put the cookie jar away. What a funny thing for me to do. Let's put the cookies, we're breaking the ghosts in half. Sorry, ghosts. And of course the bats won't fit long way, or they will fit long ways, so they'll just stay like that. There we go. I don't know why I put the plate on the rack. Is it a thing that we do now? That's all right. Ooh, it's flaky. Oh, it's so flaky. That looks done. Let's poke a rutabaga. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, they're done. The cookie is pumpkin carving. Oh, cookie manor. Okay. So, since that one's done, I'm going to assume the rest of them are. These are so nice. You can see here. I'll actually take a bite of the meat as well. Beautiful. This one needs seasoning. They may all need seasoning, but we're going to go red cookie manor and we are going to eat. Max, thank you so much for the recommendation on this recipe and for following it all the way through. Definitely needs salt, but that's my fault. This is probably one that didn't get salt in it in the beginning. So this may be actually something we do a lot, and I love that you submitted this to start us off on that path. More delicious British food. Concrete and pasties, not pasties. All right, Irish, are you gonna raid or do you want me to? Yep, you got it. All right, stick around if you wanna watch Cookie. We're gonna go eat some of these delicious meat pies, the pasties from Max. Full credit, very much we will enjoy. And I appreciate all of you who were here, even if you didn't say anything, but obviously if you chatted, that makes it more interesting for me. And I appreciate Geek Boy, obviously your generous subs was lovely. So I will see y'all tomorrow for Frosting Lab if you want to be here. Fridays are hard for some people, I know. So in the meantime, take care and we'll see you soon.